Hi, my name is Aviwe Gudula. Welcome to my show, Sparkle, the Aviwe Gudula Show. This is a show that is meant to give you discussions about certain issues of life which are meant to develop us in many aspects of life. Today, we are redefining singlehood. In studio with me today, I have Dr. Sihlahla and Mam Tobeka Sihlahla. Ladies, welcome to my show.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you. Today we are redefining singlehood based on the fact that it has been defined, and the definition of singlehood that we normally get always stems from negativity. It has stigmas around it. So today we are actually giving it a new name, a new view, a new perspective. Most of the definitions that you get around the subject would be stigmas, like if a person is single at a certain age, it is because they do not have what it takes to have a partner or to keep a partner or to have someone attracted to them. Or another definition may be, or another stigma may be that the person is single because they are clingy, which is most of the times associated with mental state of being, if I'm correct. And then you'd have other stigmas like you are desperate. You are at a point where you just, if there's men around you, obviously you are eyeing one, you know. So there is a lot of stigmas around singlehood, around people who are single. They are given names. In as much as our society is liberated from many other things, but on this one subject, we still have people who think that you are single because you haven't met a man, or you haven't honored a man in a certain way, or you haven't done much in keeping that man. So singlehood has that negativity around it, and most of the times it is put on that particular person that it's their fault that they're single, or it's because they haven't done well, that's why they're single. They haven't been the person that they were supposed to be for the other person, for them to notice or to value them enough to make them a lifetime partner. But before we go further, I would love you ladies to give me a definition of singlehood in your own perspective, in your own view, in your own worldview. How do you define singlehood?
Okay. Oh, thank you, Aviwe. For me, singlehood would mean the status of not being attached in a romantic relationship with anybody. And from what I have seen out there is that there are two different kinds of singleness, or I could say the way you can view single people. There are people who are single voluntarily and temporarily. And those people are sometimes still busy with their studies. They want to pursue a certain career, and they don't want to be disturbed. So for them, it's okay to be single. It's okay not to be in a romantic relationship, in a commitment. They are just single by choice. So there's another group of people who are single. When we look at them, they are single involuntarily and temporarily, in the sense that they think they have reached an age where they are supposed to be married, but by this time, when you look at them, they have not got a partner, so they don't have a commitment. But they could easily be defined as single. But that singlehood kubo ke ngoku is involuntary and it's temporarily basalindile basajongile. But again, ikhona igroup yabantu ethi xa izijonga ifumanisa into yoba they have achieved ebomini mhlawumbi for whatever project umuntu ebenayo ebesayenza uyigqibile and ulindile lafika ixesha bezibekele lona ukuba uzawuba committed. Now I decide ukuba okay, well, I am done and so ndiphinde entertain into yokuba ndizawutshata. So I am happily defining myself as single, and the singlehood yakhe is voluntarily permanent. That is satisfied uba abe uphaya because she has achieved okanye he has achieved konke bekufuna, and the fact that we cannot marry ourselves yenye into leyo ebalulekileyo because kaloku le nto yethu, it's a pity that i-singlehood it has to be defined by marriage. So if you are not married, you are single. But ilishwa lelokuba ke ngoku you don't marry yourself, you've got to wait for somebody to propose marriage to you when you are a female, and then ke ngoku for emails zona it is easy for them to say mna ndi single by choice, uyayibona. And then ke ngoku another last group endiyifumanisileyo into yabantu abasingle yabantu aba permanently single and ibe into yoba single kwabo voluntarily permanent. That is abazange bayiconsiderisha from the onset into abawuze babe bayatshata. They have designed their lives into yoba bazawuhlala be single ngolo hlobo.
Thank you, ma'am. Lisa, is there anything that you want to add on what Mama Sihlahla is saying?
I think with what she said, I agree with most of what she's saying, with defining it not necessarily only as per the marital status, because some people are single and actually in a relationship. So I think I agree with the definition. Although I need some clarity on there's a part where where she speaks of being single and permanently single. Mm-hmm. Those group of people, is it the fact that it's by choice that they're single, or it's a category that they have chosen to categorize themselves because they've been waiting and they're just not getting partners, or it's a state of being there and being comfortable in that stage?
So what really determines one to say that they are permanently single?
Yes, Lisa, I do feel that especially for women, for now, let me focus on women. Women tend to, girl children actually, they tend to set boundaries for themselves. They set standards for themselves. They set time frames for themselves. So when they are growing up, and there's pressure even at homes, which is something that we are going to talk about, I am sure, Aviwe. You know, with all that, so as you grow up, you put time frames that by age 25, I should be married. So you work towards that goal. When you reach age 25, most of the girl children, they just feel that, oh, okay, the time frame that I set hasn't worked. So if it hasn't worked out, it means I must move on. Then you categorize yourself into that category or that box which says, I am comfortably single, and it's by choice, and it's permanent. Meaning you are not even trying to engage a thought that one day I might meet Mr. Right.
Does that need, or does it need people to get to a certain age? Like, can you still say that somebody who's 25 or 30, can you say they are truthful when they're saying that they are permanently single? Or is there a certain age where you'd say, maybe when you get to 40, at least it makes sense for you to say, I'm content now, I'm fine, I don't want to be married anymore, I'm fine with being single. Does age, can you say to someone that is 25 when they tell you that I feel like now I am permanently single, or I am fitting myself into that category, would you, when you talk with them, would you say, based on this age, I still think it's too early? When is it too early? When is it the right time to say, yes, now it's fine, you can say you are permanently single?
Okay. talking from experience, Aviwe, with my engagement with young people, singles, and I have discovered that marriage, nowadays, people redefine marriage in terms of just having somebody to spend your happily ever after days. It's not something that it's like when it was done in the past where it was arranged, you know. First of all, we've got to allow evolution. We've got to allow the change. Time is now different from what it was 20, 50 years ago. Nowadays, I see many young people, when they talk of marriage, they just want to be having a partner and to be like seen by the rest of the world that they are happy. But in real fact, when I look at it through and through, I find that most of the time it's people who have not, maybe you don't have kids. So when they do not have children yet, they still feel that in order for them to be a complete family, they need to be married. Then you will find that some have children already, but they still feel that there's a missing link. But when you look at it with fine eye, they don't believe that there is something that is lacking with them. And when they look around, they just feel that they need a partner, somebody to shop around with, somebody to consult and on certain. It's just, you know, I don't find the reason for getting married to be as the reason that was there before when I look at it now. I don't know whether I make sense. But
no, you do make sense. But I still want to understand that do we get to a certain age where you say when we are above 40,
I have many people. I have seen many people getting married in their 50s.
Yes.
I have seen people getting married and happily ever after, well in above 60. We are one. So, for example, I was married at 23. Some other people get married at 20, 18. There is no stipulated time for you to get married. And we are different in our, I don't know whether to say in our genetic makeup, because some people want to settle down sooner than others. So I think that also needs to be taken into consideration when one talks or thinks of singlehood. You have other people who say, but I just want to have this all done and dusted, raise family, have a partner, and you have people, like I don't know whether to say wanderers, but abantu out there, who want to enjoy life, who don't even entertain the idea of getting married. So we cannot put everyone in a box and say we expect people to be expecting marriage by age so and so. No, it is not. Because abantu are cynical about love. They don't even believe in love. They just see it as a waste of time and energy. And they want to protect themselves from the hurt. From experiences around them. So it is not a one sock fits all.
Let me just jump in on that. I just want to add to the fact that society has, like you mentioned earlier on, that society has labeled, to an extent, singlehood as some sort of a disability, if I may call it that. So single people, like when you're saying out there that you're single, immediately what comes to people's mind is that, oh, there's something wrong with her. Why is she not married? Why is she at this age not married? Why? And then there's a certain expectation from you that, okay, maybe at a certain age or after reaching this, you should be married or you should at least have a partner. But I think it should not be that way. I think that we should reach a point or a level where we are comfortable with who we are, with whatever state or season that you're at, whether you're single or in a relationship or whatever, just be comfortable with the state of status or whatever it is, comfortable with your singlehood, because society will always label you, will always put you in a certain category eventually. Like whether you become married, they would say, why are you married now without kids? Why is this not happening yet you are married? Or if you're single, have a partner, and you're not married, why are you not getting married yet? So in as much as we have defined it, and there are so many facets to being single. It's not just, okay, like Mama mentioned, it's not like one definition fits all. But then if you're single and you're in that state at that moment, I think you should also feel comfortable and confident in that state that you are in. And yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Oh, okay. So in summary, you're saying your season of singlehood should be defined by how you view yourself in that season, because I think one of the reasons there is too much pressure, it is because happiness has been postponed or has been put on pause for when you are married. When you are single, you are viewed as if you cannot be entirely happy without a partner, to an extent that many people keep it on pause for when they have a partner. Now, many people feel sorry for you because you are not happy. You do not have someone to make you happy. So what Lisa is trying to say is that when you're single, be all that you could be if you were married, if I may say. Have that kind of happiness that you would have even if you had someone. Even if you had someone to spend the rest of your life with. So singlehood shouldn't deprive you of achieving things, shouldn't deprive you of being your best self. Because I think we once had a discussion where you said that for you to be able to love somebody else, you have to start by loving yourself. Because if you cannot love yourself, there's just no way you can be able to love another person if you haven't mastered loving yourself. Which is, okay, oh yes.
All right. Thanks, Avish. Just to add to what you both ladies have just said, it is very important to reach out to all the people out there, the single people out there, just to say to them, there is nothing wrong with being single. And if we understand that at this point, if you are still single at this point, first of all, be true to yourself. Just try to understand why you are single at this point. One, you know that you are in a relationship. You know where the relationship you want to take it to, and what is your partner doing about the relationship. And if you are true to yourself, love yourself enough to know that you are enough. And I just want to say to everyone out there, being married does not guarantee happiness. So people must move away from associating marriage with happiness. We are still seeing couples that aren't happy. If marriage was a definition of happiness, we would be having more people married by now. So does singlehood. Singlehood doesn't mean loneliness. If you are single, then it means you have no life. No, there is nothing like that. You just need to understand yourself, love yourself, understand the stage you are at, and then make informed decisions. And for that matter, just a little bit of ibalana njena. Ukuthi kukho abantu apha abadalelwe ukonwatyiswa zi-friends. Those are people who are already here in the society. Sihlahla nabo aba bantu. Now, if they are single, are you going to judge them uthi ba single because akho bantu babafunayo? No, you can't. It is their genetic makeup. They have ubomi when they are with their friends. As a result, ngabantu be-sisterhoods, abantu be-brotherhoods abo, when they feel complete, they their friends zabo. That's how they want to live their life. So if this singlehood, stigmas attached to it, it should be erased, because in the first place, marriage itself was never about love, for the two people. It was never about that, as far as I'm concerned. It was if families that looked at other families, their economic status zabo, they want to build a relationship, their friendship. Love was something that followed. So that's my take on it.
All right, Lisa, you want to add something?
No.
Okay, on the point where you're saying that marriage itself doesn't define happiness, or yes, it takes us to our second point of discussion, where we ask, are single people happy? Lisa, you're single, are you happy? Are you happy being single?
I can boldly say that I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm comfortable with where I am at the moment. I cannot shy away from the fact that I do desire being in a relationship, being married at some point, but I've come to acknowledge and accept the season that I'm in now, and to live fully in it and enjoy like each day that comes, and just live in the moment, basically, and so yeah, I'm very much happy. I'm very content. Although there are moments whereby I feel like, I wish I was in a relationship, but it's not all the time. Those moments do come and then they go, but mostly, to be honest with you, I'm very happy. I'm very happy, and I think it goes back to what I have mentioned earlier, that it's a state that I've chosen for myself. It's a state of mind that I chose to align with being happy at this point, at this season, because there are temptations of looking to the future, or looking to what could be, or where I could be at this age, or where I could be if I was in a relationship, but that would deprive me of enjoying where I am currently, because I'm living now. The future obviously is coming, it's gonna be there, but right now, what am I doing now? Where am I now? So I chose to accept where I am and to be content with the season that I'm in, but obviously looking into the future with hope. But I am very happy, very happy.
There is this jokes on social media. I've posted the other one on my status the other day, where there will be jokes about if, what was it saying? It was saying, I'm worried about single people. What are you guys doing? It's like people are expecting single people not to be happy. In people's mind, and especially those who are not single, they're expecting single people not to be in a position that Lisa has laid here, that there is something that is lacking. People are sure that when you're single, there is something that you are lacking. Yes, if I were to answer the question from my side, that, to be honest, I am entirely happy. I am entirely happy, not of being single. Do you understand me? But I am happy with myself at where I am now. Not to say I am entirely happy of being single to an extent that I say, even if it doesn't come, or let it not come. But I am saying, at this point in time, at this point of my life, I am happy, because how I define happiness right now is exactly where I am at. Because to me, if I were to define happiness, it goes with peace of mind. Do I have peace of mind now that I'm single? Yes, I have. Then I'm happy. Do I lack now that I am single? No, I don't lack anything. Yes, I'm not sure if we are going to dwell on people that are in certain positions or in situations where they are dependent on having a partner for them to achieve a particular thing. Now, I'm not sure if we would still ask them if they're happy now that they still do not have a partner. I'm not sure if you have that prepared for us in your notes. But now, if you were to talk about me, if you were to talk about Lisa, at this point in our time, because we are able to do the things that we want to do for ourselves, then that makes us happy. We are able to be the women that we want to be because we've got the means. Now, I don't know, like you were saying that Gudala umchado was arranged and kujongwe, all those things. So if it is influenced by that and there's people who are meant to be in relationships or in marriages because they have to prevent a certain, something from happening or prevent themselves or if they were to achieve things only because they were in that marriage, then I don't know if they would still define themselves as happy or they would still stand and boldly say, I am happy.
Okay, all right, ladies. So, what I could say is, you guys, nina nobabini, mhlawumbi you fall kule category yabantu aba ngo voluntarily and temporarily single, because it is you are uyajonga. If it comes, it comes. But andizulinda lonto. I have my life to live. We are born, and I applaud you for that, because ubukhulu becala, when you define as a singlehood, ufumanisa abantu ba they have other people in mind as something to fall back on. Abane dependency syndrome. You shouldn't define your happiness nangabani na, whether you are married or you are not married. Your happiness shouldn't be brought about by omnye umntu. You must be responsible for your own happiness. So awuthi xa uchate nomntu because ufuna ukoyama kuye, then you are getting married for all the wrong reasons. And just lastly, before ndiphume point, I like the fact yokuba nithi you are happy, guys, because niyakwazi ukwenza ezi zinto nifuna ukuzenza. And you know what, out there abafana bezi kuni because bacinga ni right, ni safe. Bacinga seninabantu, you are taken. That's the only reason you are still single, nina nobabini. And ke ngoku xa sithi nina nobabini ke, I'm talking about all the group of people abazibona bekulapha, because you have your careers, you are pursuing jobs zenu, you are happily single, uyayibona, and you are not even denying the fact that if marriage comes, it comes, I welcome, but andimanga yabuyidonwabile. I think loo nto ibangela ke ngokuba abafana phaa ngaphandle xa benijonga babona uba ni-safe.
Lisa. We are not safe. Not at all. Not at all. We are not safe.
And enye into ke ngoku ebalulekileyo endifuna uba niyiqaphele, never ever lower your standards because abafana becinga uba ni-safe. Remain who you are. Remain true to yourself. Umntu alright. You know, obubomi ndibujonga ndibufanise mna ne-plugs ezi nezinto andiyazi izinto ze-computer zifakwayo xa ufaka i-input ne-output. Ewe, ubomi sebukhona. We are designed uba sibe sesilapha thina. Umntu ozawuhlalelana nawe uzawufika ngene ncam. You won't even have to juggle into ezithile. Uba kuthiwa kokwenu ngumuntu one-nonsense, laa mfana will put up with your nonsense.
Made to accommodate eza nonsense.
To accommodate eza nonsense zakho. But iproblem into yoba ke ngoku abantu bafuna ukumane betshintsha-tshintsha. Kanti ukhona laa mfana ukujonge for who you are. Then ngeli xesha ulibaleka utshintsha, uyabaleka yena because you are not what he was expecting okanye le nto bekade eyijongile. Just remain true to yourself.
I just wanted umama, I think, well, she's touched on it, to speak to people or someone, like as we have shared, Tina, we seem to be content or happy with the state of being that we're in. But there are people who are out there who are single and they are not content, they're not happy, and they feel that like happiness should be or is attached to having
Marriage.
a partner, and they're just not content with where they are. What can you say to those people, since you have passed the stage of singlehood and now you're married? Is it okay for them to be in that state? Is it fine to be there, or
yeah, I think
they do
I think Lisa, it goes back to the point I've just raised. Remain true to yourself. Abanye abantu badaliwe ba romantic, uyayibona. Now if abo bantu ke ngoku ba romantic and njengoba be romantic jena abakabonwa out there, ngabantu kabo abazawukwazi ngaba bantu balilayo ke abo abathi they are not happy with singlehood abakuyo ngoku, because they have so much
burning desire.
This burning desire, and they have so much inside. Bakhalela ude bayoyigalela lento, uyayibona apho ifuneka khona. Yethi ke ngoku bayalibala into yokuba apha silindele umuntu ozawuza azothi azoguqa ngedolo. So it doesn't matter noba i-burning desire ikubeka ndawoni wena umuntu obhinqileyo engekafiki la mfana uzawude wenze nee-mistakes. So ithi ke ngoku i-advice yam, Lisa, they must learn to be true to themselves. They must learn not to depend on anybody for happiness. Because kaloku abanye abantu be-unhappy njena is because they are not treating themselves well. Then they want other people to be treating them well. You are not going to get that. You must first love yourself, treat yourself well. Then ke ngoku emva koko you can expect ngokomnye umuntu ozawufika ayenze lona. So out there abantu abathi abakho happy, they're single and they are mourning all the way. Ndirhalela ukubakrokrela into yoba they don't love themselves enough. That is the reason. And ikhona lento bangakwazi uzinika yona abacinga ba ikomnye umuntu.
Okay, which is that is very deep. But Lisa, based on what you were saying that you are happy, I think that it takes us to our following point, that what are the advantages of being single? Okay. Now that you realized that you are happy with where you are happy with yourself, you're happy with, what are the advantages of being in the state that you are in now?
Okay, just the advantages, ne?
Yes, that's just the advantages. We are still going to the disadvantages now.
Okay. Yeah, the advantages of being single. I think the most important one that I know for a fact is the fact that I've all the time to myself. All my time is dedicated to me and just me. And I determine like what I want to do with my time, like all the time. And I don't have to account to anyone, where will I be in the next second. If I decide to go to wherever I want to go to, I can just, fortunately I have a car, I just drive and go wherever I want to go. And there's so much freedom, there's so much selflessness, and also selfishness mostly, because you only focusing on yourself. Like it's only you that you're responsible for and accountable to. Even though, like for me personally, I'm accountable to a superior being, and obviously my parents. Certain decisions have to involve my parents and God. But for the most parts of my life, I get to decide and determine the next step or the next move I want to make with my life. So the liberty of having time to myself is what I'm enjoying the most, and just being free and yeah, it's mostly having time to myself. That's what I'm enjoying, and deciding for myself what I want at a certain point, not
how to use your money.
Yes,
exactly.
How can I forget that part of how I use my money? Exactly. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Which is, to me, the best part about this whole thing about being single.
It's like up there.
You know, like how to use my own money. my own hard-earned money. How do I get to spend it without being told by you're being irresponsible now? Now, of course, it doesn't mean that I am not, I'm irresponsible about my money, but the liberty of deciding what I want to do with my own money.
In defense of married people, can I say something? Okay. It all depends on the charter the two of you draw when you get into marriage. For example, I do not have my husband doesn't tell me what to do with my money. Neither do I tell him, but we just agree on certain issues on how to do things, you know. So then this takes us back to the traditional way of portraying marriages, you know, because people have drafted for us the way we should live in a marriage. And that makes it even harder again for other people abasengaphandle, and that makes them think twice uba, hey, I would love to get married, but xa ndifikelela kule point yoba kuzobakho umuntu ondixelelayo where to go. Uyayibona zizinto ezinjalo as you don't get into marriage because uyofumana phaya i-watchdog. No. If umtshato uyilonto, then urongo lo mtshato. Umtshato should not deprive you of the freedom. Le freedom yona yeyomntu, and wonke umuntu uyayilwela freedom yakhe. Uyayibona. So stipulations like tell me where you are not going to be in the house, these nonsenses ezo that women shouldn't put up with. Uyayibona, because zezanto kanye zizawubangela into yoba ucontrolwe kulo mtshato, yet lo muntu ucontrolayo awumazi noba uzawuhlala nawe for how long. That's why ndisithi ke ngoku it is important that when you get into marriage, ngena kuwo uza with your freedom and your happiness ingekho attached to anybody, so that xa decide ukukushiya ungabi nalaa nto izawuwa ube uthi fall apart. Uyayibona, well uzawuba nayo nje la dent yokuba uphelile umtshato ubukuwo, but awunawude uthi fall apart because you have your career, you have your dreams, you have this, you have that. Uyayibona, bringing into marriage. Marriage is just something, as institution edalelwe into yoba hambani kunye. Not ukuba ngoku uzofika ube umuntu ozawucindezele ngakomnye umuntu. No. Uba injalo izawuba wrong.
All right. I was thinking to myself that okay, let me chip in before we deviate. But I am thinking again, it's difficult to talk about singlehood and not talk about marriage.
Yes.
It will always be things that you compare.
Yes, definitely.
So yes. Now that you are married, what are the things that you wish you could have done before you got married? Or what are the things that you didn't do? If given a chance to do, you would still do. Because we would Lisa and I would look into what you'll be saying and see that then that's an advantage for me. Do you understand me? Yes.
We are for example, if I were to go back and revisit in the Lungise izinto before I get married, I would say young people must equip themselves with education, with skills, with strategies of pila. So that when you get into a marriage, you don't become a burden to anybody. Sustainer. Because imeko zokuhlala ngaphandle nje kokufa, ngaphandle kwe-divorce, ngaphandle kwayo nento ziyenzeka ne-disabilities, iyenzeka nemali will come and go. Uyayibona, so kufuneka ukuze kuhlale kumnandi kufuneka nomnye abe nento azanayo in a marriage. So one thing I would just do kukuba uqala ufunda ugqibe. ugqibe uqiniseke into yoba xa utshata ke ngoku uyojongana nalo mtshato ungabi uzidivayida sele usemtshatweni, because when you are into marriage then you still have to spend money on fees, imali zezikolo, i-tuition fees ne-registration fees, i-chunk enkulu leyo that you are taking away from izinto ubufanele uzenza ngeli xesha ujongene nomtshato wakho. Number 2, into that I would do xa ndinobuye umva is to spend more time with your family, with your siblings, with your cousins, with everyone, your extended families. Visit everyone, uyayibona, because xa sele usemtshatweni you need time to focus on your partner, to focus on his family. You've got to learn everyone nee-behaviors zabo. Then ke ngoku if nawe usezawumane uthi ngokulapha ukhe umane uthi gqada phaya ikhona into engazuhamba kakuhle, kanti if you give them enough time ngelaa xesha ubu-single, then ngoku xa sewungapha then kukubuyisa nje ke ngoku kancinci lamathuba. You are not going to yearn for uyospenda amaxesha nabo. Ixesha ozawuba nalo xa usemtshatweni kuphuma naye umntu wakho nabantwana nizonwabele nodwa. Then your family will understand into yoba we've had her kangangoko, so we're giving her time ngokuba makwakho umzi wakhe. That's about all.
Okay. Are there disadvantages though? Are there disadvantages
of being single? From my angle, xa ndijongile, i-disadvantages of being single, ilaa nto mhlawumbi ke it will sound rough xa sisithi la lack of control nyana. La lack of accountability manditsho, ndingathi lack of control. Ikhona la accountability ifunekayo, into yoba you are not reckless about your life, about the decision you make. At least you have someone to talk to first, just to check uba right na xa ndisenza kanjena. Not that uthi makakujike okanye athini, but you need that opinion yomntu omthandayo into yoba ngabe ndi-right xa ndithatha this thing, uyayibona, this road, and then azokubonisa ngoba no, you are being too ambitious mhlawumbi for le nto, okanye you can't be doing that ngeli xesha kaloku izawuthi le nto. Uyabona right now ungavuka ngomso kuthiwa uyophangela eNamibia wena. Uyayibona, because unalento ithi I'm not accountable to anyone. It is dangerous ke to some extent loo nto. Then any disadvantage mna I can see into yoba la loneliness iyafika emntwini osingle acinge ukuba umntu otshatileyo akabi nayo la moment ye loneliness. It is a pity that when I am at that stage and bethi ntsimbi ndithi I'm lonely now, uyayibona. So it's a moment efikayo nakubani na, much as ba the me time ifuneka. You sometimes uthi ngokuhleli nabantu uqonda ba you just want to be alone. Injalo nasi nobu single nobu tshatile. So that moment ke loneliness mna ndingayithi nje xa ndiyi-extender from i-singlehood ndithi yila loneliness yoba ke mhlawumbi xa use-shopping mall you would have loved uba ube nomntu ohamba naye or holding hands ozawujonga ii-items uba i-right lena irongo lena uplane naye into yoba siya e-Kids Beach okanye siyaphi na, uyayibona. Still njengoba ndiyijonga ngoku ngeliso lomntu omdala andiyiboni iyi-transmash naloo nto, because xa lifikile laa xesha le-loneliness you just have to have izinto obambelela kuzo ezingeyo partner, good job, friends, family, love from siblings. Uyabona nje, if you have ezo zinto, some of us babe nabantwana, uyabona, if unazo ezaa zinto zizayisusa, they will drive away that loneliness. Uyayibona, akukho nto ingamandla kangangento yoba umntu angade acinge into yoba i-loneliness yomntu osingle it spreads yona for i-period ende ukogqitha i-loneliness efunyanwa. Some abanye abantu abatshatileyo, if you care to know, baba lonely ngoku behleli nee-partners zabo endlini. Uyayibona, so it is not a defining think lento yoba lonely okanye sithi loneliness inene into efikela bona. We are lying to ourselves. Loneliness iyafika nakubani.
Just to add on what you are saying, that one of the disadvantages may be that you get to be lonely sometimes. And I think it's a good thing that we say that you are not lonely most of the times, but you're lonely sometimes. Those
moments ubona abanye abantu behamba bekunye and xa ubona intanga zakho zihamba nabantu babo
abayanga than you.
Okay.
Yes.
Kanti ke you don't know uba kanti njengoba behamba kunye bebambene ngezandla bayalwa. Unezo zinto ongazaziyo. But
I love the fact that you're saying when that period comes, because what we're seeking for here is what do you do in certain situations. So I love what you're saying now, that when that period comes, when that loneliness knocks into your door, you have to remind yourself of the things that you have achieved. Look at how far you have come to be where you are. Look at all the people that have the things that you do not have. For me, I even look at the married people that do not have the things that I have, and I'll be like, hey girl, you're still you're still doing it. She's married, but she doesn't have, if we are saying that we are comparing, she's married, she doesn't have A, B, C, and D. Hey, you have A, B, C, D, and E, and that person doesn't have. So it's not really about whether that person was more of who you couldn't be. It was just that person met their own partner. At the right time, there's a person who's going to appreciate the package that you are at this point in time. So I love what you're saying, that substitute the feeling with something good, with something positive, because there has to be something positive. So it means, like we were saying, that during the time of being single, we need to work on ourselves so that there is something to look to. Because if you are not working on yourself and there isn't anything coming your way, and there isn't that one thing that becomes something to comfort you of the situation that you are in, then you are set up to be depressed.
Yes, Lisa. It's so funny because we're talking about disadvantages now. Now it turns into this positive talk, positive conversation, which is good because either way we're here. Just to touch on the disadvantages that I experienced personally, one of them is the one that Mama mentioned of being accountable and sharing ideas with someone, and and you wish that there can be someone who says, hey, this dress could fit you, this could be nice on you, or hey, what about that idea you had? How about you do this certain way? There's always that longing, that desire of having someone to share stuff with, to just talk to, especially for me as a working professional. I wish sometimes I long for someone to come back to in my house, just to share my day, someone to give me that foot massage, to give me that, to cuddle, and to do all the things you want.
Exactly.
To pat on the back or to encourage you after such a rough day. I get those moments sometimes of just wanting someone to be there, of desiring that there was someone there, but I'm encouraged with all that you mentioned.
But we don't dwell on that. Imagine if we had to dwell on it. It's not even for us. It's not even the desire to be with someone. It's not even when you look at them, you realize they're not even big. You do not even want big things. You don't have
already achieved that.
Yes, you just want those little things. How was your day? Let me bring you a cup of coffee. That's all.
For Minyani, mystery, because now Nina, you have achieved izinto ezininzi. You are able to do things for yourselves. You're not looking for a partner for ba ikuncedise financially. You're looking for a soulmate, just someone ozawukwazi ukushare nawe izinto. But guess what? Uzawuthi ngoku sowulindile, umuntu will come around. Is a guy from the ghetto ozawufika wena engekho out there. Uyayibona? Which is something lined up for a discussion. Sometimes we attract the wrong people. There's still that. There is still that. Don't ever think intoba ezinto nizifunayo nizawufika ke ngoku that person who is coming uzawufika epackagewe zilinde wena ngolu hlobo. I'm telling you now, you are not going to get that.
Okay. Let's at least hope for that.
Let's leave it there until we get to it. We will discuss it further. Do single people, or women specifically this time, do single women spend most of their time waiting for a partner instead of living in the moment?
Those single women who wait for partners before they can start doing things for themselves, those are the people who have this high dependency syndrome. Okay. If you don't have the dependency syndrome, you move on. You chin up, you move on. And if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, then it was not meant for you. You just move on. So there is no one answer for me kulo nto leyo except to say that abantu abafuna ukwenzelwa izinto ngabo abasoloko belinda. Abantu bangafuni ukwenzelwa izinto. Like, you don't get into marriage because ufuna imali yalamntu izokwenzela wena izinto zakho. Uyayibona? Okokuqala nje awuyo dependent yalamntu, awungomntanakhe. Uyayibona? Lo muntu unaye nefamily yakhe to look after, unazo nezinye izinto zakhe ezizicommitments zakhe. So uthando lona luzawufika ludlala indima yalo, then ukukunceda kwakhe kuzawuzenzekela. Not uze uyibhageni, uze uyilo ngxowa yetyuwa ezawubekwa emagxeni omnye umuntu, because sesijongene ne-violence based, ezi-violent, gender-based violence njena, sijongene nazo because amaxesha amaninzi we define i-partnership ne-marriage ngento yokwenza nomnye odependa komnye. And in the long run, if ulindele uba makakwenzela izinto, uzawulindela njani uba makangakucontrol? I know it sounds weird le nto ndiyithethayo, but if umnika imhlaba wokuba akwenzele everything, he's going to think for you, he's going to do this for you, and in the process, he's going to control and run your life. Xa ungakwazi uthowisha iline, he's going to decide what to do about you. Sadly.
Lisa? Oh, that's quite an interesting point, Mama Icho Ibana. The fact that you sit there waiting for someone. So ultimately, if someone does come and you've been waiting for this person, chances are you settle for whatever comes because you've been waiting. You're just there. So it's quite interesting. It's quite informative that you mentioned that it might be negative. You'll end up settling because you're not here, you're not enjoying this, you're just longing and not living in the present. I wouldn't say, well, it depends on the different single people that we mentioned earlier on, that some are actually there longing for someone to come. Some others are actually enjoying the moment. So it really differs on individual and person to person. But what Mama has said is an eye-opener to say to people that don't sit and wait. Do something. She spoke about self-empowerment, enjoying time with family, with friends, and just basically living in the moment that you are in then, and do hope still, but don't just be there longing. Enjoy the moment,
So how would you say people must, how do we
just the phuma? Okay, phuma, because ndichilo kuni ndathi people out there think you are covered nina seninabantu. Why? Because anibonakali ndawo. Uyayibona? Ulisa, for example, most of the time usesibhedlele, use theater, uPPP, uyayibona? Usemsebenzini. Then uphuma kwakhe phaya emsebenzini uyohlala endlini yakhe. Even umntu owayefunda naye who is trying to track uba waphelelaphi uAsavela, waphelelaphi uAsavela Lisa, uyayibona? You will be surprised ukufumanisa into yoba ukhona umfana uhlala naye kwa grade 11 phaya eklasini oku-admirisha ngendlela ongasoze uyikhumbulele wena, but uhleli apha ekomani, uhlala usesibhedlele, uhlala usemsebenzini, and naxa sewuphumile ngomgqibelo awuyi kwezaa ndawo unodibana nazo nabantu kuzo, uyayibona? And then uya kwindawo zabantu abangakwaziyo who don't even care to ask you uba ye man waphela ubomi bakho buqhuba njani, uyabona? So I think what I would advise young people single, especially the voluntarily temporarily single abantu bayazi into yoba it's time it could come, go out there. No, galela itanki yakho imoto uhambe uyobhukisha, uyohlala wedwa phaya, okwakuphuma kwakho uye ebhichini. Ukhona nomnye ohamba yedwa. Ukhona nomnye umahamba yedwa phaya, uyayibona? Uya e-shopping mall, ukhona naye ozawube ehamba phaya who is looking for love, uyayibona? So yenye nje indlela endicinga uba ningakwazi ukwenza ngayo ke ukuthi whilst you don't sit and wait, but at the same time sukuzivalela kakhulu because ixesha liyahamba. And ke ngoku umzekelo for uLisa, you have not even started a family, I guess, andithi uyayibona? So uzawuhamba uhambeka kwa wena i-medical wisdom yakho ikuxelela into yoba you've run out of time, you are not, uyayibona, the biological clock is ticking, kwathini. Then ke ngoku uzibone ke ngokuba frustrated with your beautiful career, and then ke ngoku yonke enye into imile, uyayibona? Mna for example ke ngoku with that njengoba ndiyithetha nje, it comes to my mind into yoba when you want to have kids, uyayazi into yoba as umuntu ofundileyo, nowadays you can even have kids wena without having a partner, uyayibona? So you are not going to allow ubomi bakho uba mabume. You are not going to allow that. Uba uyabona uba ixesha lakho liyahamba, biological clock is ticking and nothing is coming your way, uzawube uqala ngale, uyazi uba ine-time constraints, uqala ngayo. Whoever loves you will love you with the package you are bringing.
Interesting. Yes, how do I live in the moment?
How do you live in the moment?
I enjoy my life.
You have a triangle, pattern. You go from work, church, home. Are you that person?
Not entirely. Not entirely. It really. I know I don't do that. Okay. I'm a person who enjoys traveling. I travel quite a lot. It's unfortunate that there was the pandemic and a lot of things were restricted and whatnot. But I'm an outdoor person.
Good. Keep it up.
I love traveling. I'm blessed with friends who share the same who love traveling as well. So I travel quite a lot. I spend time with people when I have time. Because like we mentioned, my schedule is quite tight, but I'm not the person who goes home, work, and then church. No, I'm not limited to that. So
I'm not.
So I do try to enjoy my life when I have time. Like when I'm on leave or weekends, I spend time with people in that regard, traveling.
I hate being confined. I hate waiting for something that might not come, I hate the fact that I am the one who has to stress. Because sometimes I would even think, I wonder if this person that I'm waiting for, is he really stressing about me the same way that I'm stressing about him? And if he's not, then I get angry. It's like, why am I stressing about someone who's not even thinking about me? So I live. I master the art of living in the moment. Yes, sometimes you get to have disappointments along the way. You know, they are part of the journey. But I enjoy being out there. I enjoy going to places that I've never been to before. I always want to try a new place. I always want to try a new hotel, a new holiday resort. I go on holidays to an extent that I pray for a partner that would. I don't want someone who would not want to go to a holiday. I mean, in December we must go on holiday. That's my culture that I have set for myself, and I aspire to have that kind of person. You know, that we go on holidays. So at least I am living my life that way in case. In case I come across someone who would see it as a waste of money, you know. So, which is why it is important to live in the moment. Like you were saying, that we might even be surprised that we will not even get to have the people that we aspire to have. Maybe they are not there for us. Maybe we'll get to a point where we say, it's fine, we'll just marry the guy.
And everyone who knows you for the standards and everything, it's something that you cannot control. And who knows, God is trying to compliment omnye umuntu ngawe. Uyayibona into enjalo. So ubomi is just not into cut and dry, into ebekwe phaya. Uyabona. And ke ngoku mna xa ndizithethelela ke mna I am very domestic. Very, very. I don't want outdoor life. I don't even want to go on holiday. I just want to be with my family, my loved ones. So that could be one of the reasons why when the proposal came earlier in my life, I accepted, because mna kakade noba besikuthiwa yi-end of the year function bendiba nalanto ithi oh hayi man iphela nini lento uyayibona. That's the kind of person I am. So settling down for me is nothing new. It is something I am made for.
Makes sense. Let's wrap it up, ladies.
The only thing I want to stress upon young people, ladies and gentlemen, do not attach yourself or your happiness to anybody. Do not. Trust yourself, love yourself, be kind to yourself, be good to yourself. Everything else shall follow. Do not depend on anybody for your happiness. That's if we can just try to drum lonto ebantwaneni bethu, I think sizaba nobomi obuthembisayo. And ukuba single is not a crime. Ukuba single is just a status esikuveleleyo ngelo xesha. If umtshato uyafika mawufika uhamba and mawufike uzilungiselele so that ungabi burden emntwini. Thank you.
Wow, such wisdom. Yeah, Ubaba is sharing on wisdom. Thank you so much. Yeah. I don't have much to say. I think Mama has basically covered everything, you know, that has to be covered. And I think this is a phase that needs to be enjoyed and lived to the full. I think there mustn't be a time in our lives, whatever point we're in, whether single or married, that we don't get to thoroughly enjoy and to live our lives to the fullest at the phase that we're in life. I think the message I want to put across is just to live life to the fullest. You know, life is too short. We have learned that with the pandemic, that anything can happen to anyone. Whilst you're waiting for a partner who may never come, anything can happen. So enjoy life, live life to the fullest, and love life, love yourself, and yeah, God is good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. That is my show, Sparkle, the Aviwe Gudula show. Please subscribe. Thank you.